Introducing Soul. He ain't a junkie, but he drools a lot. It's fair. Let's go get him.
Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to Solshow. And
this is your birthday.
But anyway, today we're doing a movie review of Happy Death Day, the most recent movie I just saw in theaters. And Happy Death Day is a movie described by many as a Groundhog's Day meets slasher film. It takes the Groundhog's Day genre as it is now, which is to relive the same day over and over again, and combines that with like a kind of cheesy horror slasher film. The main girl in this movie, who is named Tree, is getting killed a lot. Suddenly she gets killed, and then she wakes up, and you know, at the end of that day she gets killed over and over again. So she's like, I gotta find out who keeps fucking killing me and put a stop to it. And that's basically the movie. And this movie is dumb. This is a dumb movie. I think this movie is well aware that it's dumb. Everything from the writing to even like the actors, like over the top performances. And yet at the same time, this movie isn't that much, like people say it's Groundhog's Day meets slasher film, but the Groundhog's Day seems to just kind of be the plot, and the slasher like themes again are just related to the plot. The tone of this movie is a comedy. This is a movie having fun. Looking at some of the people making the movie, the director, he, directed some other, bad movies that are within the horror genre, but at the same time, the movies, like, the Paranormal Activity one, they're not, like, directed horribly. Like, this guy seems like a competent director. This is the same studio that did, like, a bunch of other great movies, like Get Out, and the Insidious, Paranormal Activity franchises. So their formula seems to be like make these big movies on the cheap, and that's what they're doing here. This movie feels like a good writer and a good team made it, but they did it using like 70% of the effort. Like if the writer for this movie was like, oh, you have to write a whole script a day, this would be like a random movie he made in a day. And we got the characters for this movie. We have the main character. She's a very pretentious, mean sorority girl who, like, I actually enjoy her character. She is very monotone, very not interested in anybody else or what they're doing, like just stares blankly at people. I've been known to do that a couple of times. And with her, I like that within this movie she's doing the cliche hero's journey, and now I'm gonna treat people good on my Groundhog's Day adventure. But she's doing that with the best attitude you could have, and she's so much fun. The actress playing her, I give complete props to. The other characters, the killer is unimportant. Some sorority girls who are like kind of over the top and kind of unnecessary. And then there's the love interest. I like the love interest in this movie. He was just kind of a charming, oh, like, do you like me? Did you leave your bracelet here for like the 100th day in a row? Like that type of shit. And what it all blends together to is a movie that's fun to play. Like if this was on a random horror marathon that I was watching, then yeah, this movie is worth watching, it's worth your time. But it's not much more than that. It's not a smart movie. It's not a movie that, like, the more I think about it, the better it gets. If anything, it's the opposite of that. This movie, like, I think knows that this idea, like, falls flat on its ass, like, halfway when you're through. Even explaining the synopsis, you would be like, why doesn't she just, like, remove the mask or sacrifice herself to do... why doesn't she, like, do such and such? Plant a trap, like, have some, like, better, weapons on you. Anything that could have solved this mystery didn't happen. And it's not like it happened to, like, this absurd amount. I think she only, like, has this day relived a couple, like, a dozen or two times. The reception for this movie, I think, is about what I would expect, though. A lot of movie reviewers are just saying it's trash. And I've seen a couple, like, people who, like, I am friends with who, like, this is their kind of movie, and they're already saying they're liking it. But whether you're on either side of the fence, just know that I'm somewhere in the middle, and I can appreciate this kind of movie, but at the same time, I think movies should be, like, since they're such a part of pop culture, that whatever's at the forefront of pop culture should be pushing the boundaries. This movie is literally taking other people's ideas and making something with it just for the sake of it. And even though it's having fun while doing that and it's enjoyable, at the end of the day, I don't think I would watch this movie again unless, again, it was like a part of some horror movie marathon or something. Oh yeah, shout out to the Groundhog's Day reference in this movie. I think that might have raised it a whole point for me on terms of score, because once this movie was aware, like, I've never seen another movie reference Groundhog's Day, like the genre-defining movie was referenced in this one, so I thought, like, okay, you get a little bit more of a pass from me. Anyway, that's my quick thoughts on Happy Death Day. I want to know your guys' thoughts below. And thank you so much for watching. My links and all my channels and all that shit will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching. And with that...
How keep you safe in these arms of mine? Hold on to me.